Hi, Yarn Hellions.
Hello,
Good
welcome.
morning. So I'm Christine Parker of Christine Parker Co. And my cohort is Sarah Flinn of Superfine Yarn Co. We're the Yarn Hellions. You are also our Yarn Hellions, and we love you, and we're glad you're here. So this episode will be coming out January 1st. So we thought we would talk about today our New Year's. What did you put, Sarah? Craftolutions, our New Year's resolutions.
I'm sure someone
Yeah.
already came up with it, but I thought, instead of New Year's resolutions, we're going to talk about our craft illusions.
Yeah. So you tell me, Sarah, what are your yarn related?
So I have some dye ones, which some I kind of worked on this year, which was being more experimental and using more colors and testing out things. But sometimes when you always have something in the works, it was hard to do that. So I did have more extra time this year to work on that. So I kind of want to continue that, and try. I just ordered some new dye colors I haven't had before.
Ooh.
And, sometimes you get in your comfort zone of like what you like, and you notice things are coming out the same. So I want to try and push myself a little more to use different color combinations together. So, and then for knitting, I've been doing shawls and hats. So I think I want to branch out a little. So if anyone has suggestions for patterns that are maybe just a little different. I don't think I'm ready for sweaters yet. I'm still scared about sweaters. I've tried a few and just panicked. So I was
big. Sweaters are it's a big commitment.
It is. And I'm just, especially with the library and dyeing, it's just not, I want it to be relaxing and I don't want to have to panic about it. So I was thinking maybe mittens or something I could do where I could learn a new skill but not be stressed.
Mittens are fun.
Yes, I think.
The fingerless mitts are great because you just knit a tube and then you're done.
Nice.
There's if you decide to put a thumb gusset in, there's a little bit of shaping, but not really. They're pretty.
I
pretty
did
simple.
Knit early in my knitting career, but it was the kind that just had the hole, so you have to do anything. So I want to do something where I have to learn a little more.
There you go. Oh, that's good. That's a good New Year's resolution.
So how about you?
I didn't really have any knitting resolutions exactly. I want to publish at least 4 patterns. I already have 3 that are in the works right now.
Well then.
But I'm if I say I want to publish 10 patterns, I'll panic and I won't do any. So I'm okay, I know I have 3 that are ready to go. So I'll say 4 and then that won't be too scary. But for unrelated to crafting and whatever. Oh, okay. Unrelated to crafting. I want to read 100 books. I read 100 books this year. And so I want to keep doing that. Cause that's if I can read 100 books a year, I mean, that's, oh my God. That's every book.
I've got to go back and see, is there an easy way to do that in Goodreads? Be how many did I read this year?
Just
scroll back through.
So if you join the Goodreads reading challenge, you can set a goal for yourself and then it'll keep track for you.
Okay, maybe I'll start that this year.
Yeah. So I did that a couple years ago and I read 100. So it seems like if I really read hard, 100 is a good number for me. So that's a goal for next year. Just keep reading, read a lot of books. And then I want to learn to spin. I talked about my little electric spinner in our last episode and I was maybe I'll have a hank of yarn to share, hand spun yarn. No, we got in a fight. I haven't touched it.
Didn't time out.
Yeah. So that's a goal. I want to learn how to use that little sucker and I want to make some hand dyed yarn. So I guess that's a craft related resolution.
Well, it's not like you haven't been doing anything because I have seen your new flowery patterns and they're adorable.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'll share those. I think hopefully for the next episode I'll have some fabric to share. That'd be really exciting.
Amazing. So are they printing it and sending it to you?
Yeah. So so Sarah is talking about, I've been practicing drawing like vintage flower patterns, like imitating vintage fabric, because I love like the vintage stuff, and flowers, or I just love flowers. So I've been practicing drawing those, and I came up with a couple designs and set it up through Spoonflower, which is like a custom fabric printing service. And I ordered little tiny 8-inch samples of my own fabric, and they're in the mail. They're coming. So yeah, I think hopefully if they get here, if like the mail and like the post office is on time, I'll have them for our next episode to show. And then yeah, like I want to have like a fabric collection of different flowers and different colors, and I don't know, that'll be really fun, because folks have been asking me, they're like, can you put Fuck Off I'm Knitting and your rainbow yarn on fabric so that we can like make project bags and stuff. And so that, like, eventually that will all come together. I'll have a little fabric store.
Love it.
So fun. Craft, so that's crafty revolution.
And I want to hear what other people's crafty resolutions are for the new year. So put them in the comments or on Instagram.
Oh, wait. For the giveaway, are we just doing comments on the YouTube?
Yeah, let's do comments on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, tell us what your crafty resolution is. And yeah, if you're working on any new projects, you can always tag us so we can put them up on our stories too.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, because like regular New Year's resolutions, like I'm gonna lose 20 pounds or I'm gonna run a marathon, like those are so harmful. But you know what is so great, and like self, what am I trying to say? Like self personal growth resolution.
Yeah.
Like learning a new hobby, like that's self-care. Like that's good for you. Like we don't need to change who we are or what our bodies look like. Like it's fine. But let's learn some new skills, and that'll be really fun and creative and whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We need to be easy on ourselves after this year.
Oh, yes. Oh my God. Yeah. Wowie. So we talked about the giveaway. Do you want to, let's just do that now? Because
yeah. So I did a random generator, and from the comments from last time, and Melissa H is our winner.
Yay, Melissa. You get a mug, which
I know.
I didn't, I don't have it with me. It's in my cupboard, my sample, but yeah, it's the rainbow stockinette stitch mug. So I will send that to you. Yay. Oh man, those mugs are awesome. I'm so excited for that for you. And I think you, Sarah, you said Melissa left a comment about my electric spinner.
She did, which is hilarious because she said, I'll help you. And then I did the spinner and she was the winner. I was like,
God bless her, Melissa. Thank you. I will probably be in touch shortly when I have the energy to get my little nano out and fight with it some more. So what do we have for our next giveaway?
So our friend Mariah is a local dyer, and I got a skein of her yarn. So her company is Beauty Mark Yarn. So you also get a little pin with Beauty Mark on it. Look at her awesome logo. So this is a DK weight, 100% superwash merino. Rumor has it.
Nice.
So,
that's pretty.
Cool.
Isn't it? I see like a pink, like pinky mauve. Is there like is that navy in there?
It's more like charcoal.
Okay. Oh,
so
pretty.
Yeah, like mauve, purple, charcoal, little light pink too. Yeah.
Nice. Oh,
very
jealous.
Nice. So I actually went through and got some other skeins from local dyers. So we'll kind of pepper those in the upcoming episodes as giveaways. So
yeah. So if you want to win that gorgeous skein of yarn of Beauty Mark yarn, leave a comment telling us your 2021 crafty New Year's resolutions.
Yay.
We'll pick one for next time. You added a new category.
I did,
Tell me
because
about that.
I got the nicest kind of message that said, "Oh, if we sent you something, would you talk about it on the podcast?" And I'm like,
Hell
well,
yeah.
we have never been asked this before. So really
Send
nice
us stuff. We really love presents.
I know. I was like, please send it to me. So it is a calendar of
Oh,
indie
get out.
dyers.
Oh my
So
God.
each month is a different dyer.
Oh,
Oh, it's really cool. So they're promoting this. Sorry, I'm really late, but yeah. So
who's that by?
Sorry, so it's Two Sheeps. So you can go to twosheeps.com. And then they also have like limited edition colorways to go with this too. So you can purchase the calendar and the colorways. So this is the first year they've been doing this. So they're trying to promote it with different podcasts and things like that. So I thought that was really cute. So
well, thanks for
our
sending
first
that.
little mailbag. I don't know what we're going to call it, but
I like mailbag. That works.
I know. so that's it.
Cool. Will you flip through? I want to see
let me
some
find
more of the
another one.
pictures.
Ooh.
Show me June.
Oh,
That's
wait.
my birthday.
Oh my gosh, I flipped right to June.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah. So I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah, because who doesn't love to look at, oh my God, beautiful
Pretty yarn.
Yeah. Good idea,
So,
Two Sheeps.
Yeah.
Thanks for sending that. That's awesome. I see a note on here, show off Sarah's new Christine blanket.
Oh my gosh, because I have it right here. Ripley's trying to crawl on top of it while I'm unraveling it. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
I got the blue to purple fade. So, oh my gosh.
Nice.
It's
good.
so soft.
Right?
And
I have mine. Mine's right over there. I got the different colorway. But yeah, those they're so soft. I hadn't seen, because I can't order a sample of every single design that I make, obviously, but so did that one. Like, is it pretty? Did it turn out okay?
So pretty. And these are my colors. So I was just like, oh, I didn't even know when I went on. I didn't know you had different color options.
Yeah.
So I was like,
snuff them in there.
I have one's blue and purple. So it's great.
Awesome. Yay. Yeah, the stockinette. So I closed my shop. Well, since we're airing on January 1st, it'll be open again. But I, like, in the middle of December, I was like, I can't be, oh, look at the baby.
She's like, oh, you have a soft blanket? I would like to be there.
I closed my shop at the middle of December because I was like, I kept getting messages like, hey, where is my package? Why haven't you updated tracking information? I'm like, I don't do the tracking. Once it leaves my hands, like it goes to the post office, then I don't, like, I wish I had more information. I could help folks, but I have the same tracking information that you have. I don't know where your package is.
It was hard for a lot of small businesses.
It was rough. But for the most part, I think everything that I only had, I think maybe 1 or 2 packages that like completely disappeared, and everything else just seems to be running late. So hopefully like the poor post office will have a chance to like catch up. But so anyway, so I closed my shop to like just put it on vacation to preserve my sanity for the rest of December. So, but as of January 1st, when this episode airs, it'll be back open. I've got a bunch of new stuff, fun goodies to throw in there. So the blankets will be back available for your purchasing pleasure when you're watching this. If you need a fuzzy stockinette stitch blanket that you didn't knit yourself. Will you please show me some yarn now?
Will.
Yay.
Thanks for asking. Oh my gosh. So, I've got 2. I've got, this is Grape Fizz. So kind of like nice purplies, but with like a little, almost like a cola color, which is why I called it Grape Fizz. So this is on the Superwash sock base, Riotous sock. So a really nice to it. That's Grape Fizz. And then I have Currant, which is a
oh my God, I love that.
fun multi-red, little bit of Purples in there. Get a little closer.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah. So those are my 2 Superwash. And then just picked a few. I didn't want to overload and have a 2-hour podcast. So the funniest thing is I dyed some Kidsilk, and I had a special order for some, and so I just kind of did a few extras. And so I turned out with a lot of green Kidsilk, which was awesome. I've got Forest is this one, and then Hunter is this one here. And then I looked, I'm hanging them on the wall. I have another green.
Nice.
So I'm in a green phase apparently with Kidsilk.
Green is my favorite.
It's, yeah, they turned out so nice. So
we'll have to, so you sent me your advent calendar, and I want to save that. I want to talk about that next time.
oh, good.
But when I opened the green, like the bright green one, I like squealed because I love green so much. It was so pretty. I'll show that next time.
I worked on that one for a little bit, and I'm like, is it too bright? Because it seemed to like stand out, like, but I really loved it.
Yeah, that's fun. Well, I'll show that next time.
To get like the right amount of like, there was some neon yellow in there to like get it to that like green. So
cool.
Yeah, when I was mixing it, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, good greens. Hey, for Kidsilk, I've never knit with that. What is that like?
Yeah, so I hadn't before I started dyeing, and it's really great. It's lace weight, which is scary, but you just hold it along with anything, and it gives it that nice kind of like halo fuzz on it. So it's really good for hats, like mittens, things like that. It just is fun. So yeah, that's what I do with it. Just hold it along with something else. And then depending on the Kidsilk, like if it's something that has like really bright splashes of color, you can kind of see it a little bit in the knitting. So it's kind of nice. I know like Mitzi is one I do that's peach with like some bright, has a little bit of green, a little bit of like berry in it. So like those areas are just kind of like little fuzzy color areas. It's not as bold as like other yarn, but it's nice. I know one time when I visited around the table, someone had done a cardigan of Mitzi in singles and Mitzi and Kidsilk holding them together. So like it was all the same, but like kind of like blended through. It was really pretty.
Marling. So what kind of like what animal does that come from?
Yeah, so so it's goat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and silk blended.
Oh, right, because a kid is a little baby goat, and silk is silk. Okay, I get it.
Kidsilk. So it's kind of funny. It has a bad rap because for a while it was maybe like 70s, 80s. It was scrapped and awful. And I'm not sure how they changed the process, but yeah, for a lot of people think of like kind of crusty, you know, stuff that was in like the bottom of their grandma's closet. And, but yeah, this is a lot different and just really soft. And so I think it
sounds lovely.
Yeah, yeah. It's really fun to dye because it almost like blends out really pretty. So like sometimes, I don't know, sometimes with maybe like sock yarn, it's just a little difficult to get things like where you want them and you're managing it a lot. Whereas Kidsilk, it just kind of all looks lovely. It just blends and it's so fluffy. It just kind of like washes out pretty no matter what. So it's really fun to dye because it just it looks lovely at the end.
That's always nice when like stuff is relatively mistake proof.
Yeah, yeah.
I appreciate that. I wish my little electric spinner was mistake proof, but it's not. Oh my God, sorry. I don't know if I burped or choked or what just happened.
A combo.
Yeah. You finished your Lava Lake shawl.
I did.
I want to see that.
Oh my gosh. And it's too bad we're not on the couch because we could both hold an end because it is enormous.
Oh my God.
So I am a very proud Lava Lake owner.
Yeah.
I was so proud. I of course even posted, oh, I'm weaving in my ends while I go until this last bit, and then nope. So
yeah,
the last part I have to do, and then I'm gonna be wearing this sucker a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it turned out really nice. I have one kit in the shop. So, it was funny because actually someone was asking me about this color. They were like, oh, do you have one more skein of that? I'm like, it's in the Lava Lake kit on the site, but if nobody buys it, maybe I'll break it up for you. So,
Aw.
so yeah, I told you, I was like, this is really taking a long time. Oh, because I can't read. And I think it's a little bit confusing. He had like how many rows. So like each part, like, oh, this is 24 rows, but 12 garter rows, or, you know. So I was like, I read one the wrong way, and this part is twice as long as it should be. So then I'm decreasing, and I'm going, seems like I'm running out of yarn. And yep, because I did too many rows.
Whoops. That's
yeah, it's just a little extra cozy now. So
nice. So you just like made it a little bit bigger than it was supposed to be.
Right. But yeah, when I was decreasing, I'm like, oh, I thought, oh, this is gonna like go really quick, and it didn't.
Yeah. That's a Stephen West pattern, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I haven't knit anything by him, but I feel like I could get behind the Lava Lake pattern.
Oh, yeah. I've done a few of his. So yeah, I really recommend them.
His stuff is usually a little bit too wild for me. Oh, I lied. I've knit the Boneyard shawl, which is just, it's like a free, super plain triangle, top-down triangle shawl that's super simple. I've knit that, yeah. But yeah, his stuff is intense.
It is.
Very wild.
I picked this one just because, yeah, it was on the simpler side, and I didn't have to like really pay attention. So.
Yeah. What else you got?
Oh my gosh.
Finished project-wise.
Yeah, I finished. I wanted to knit with my bulky, so I did a little headband that's got a twist in it.
Oh my god, that looks so cozy.
Isn't it? I don't know why I really wanted that like little twist in it. And then what is this? Twisted Turban headband by Hayley Nordstrom. So it is really cool because
that's so cute.
Covers your ears, and yeah.
Bad hair day, slap it on.
I know. So it's been great. So I have been wearing it, and it's like the perfect width, and it was a great like one skein quick project.
With bulky, I bet it went super fast.
It did.
Yeah, nice.
So, yeah. So I'm happy about that. So 2 finished projects. And then I have, my aunt sent me something she made with my yarn, which really is cute. We were talking about mitts, and she did one. This is one of the live dyes that I did for a show. But I love how these turn out. I'll show you.
That's so cute with the like chevron in there. That's really pretty.
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh. And
what's the pattern?
I put the note somewhere, so I'll have to add it.
So is that the Fadewalker?
Yes, thank you. See?
Yes, I have
You're
my
organized.
notes too.
I'm like, I put it in the Google Doc, but not in my notes. So yeah, Fadewalker.
Cute.
So I love those. And then my uncle is a quilter, and every year he makes project bags for her and I. So this is one from, I think, last year.
Nice.
And then this year we got quilted ones. So I wanted to show you. It has this little like octagon shape, and it has a drawstring at the top. So
can never ever have enough project bags.
Oh my gosh, it's so magical. And they're different sizes. So like this one's pretty decent sized.
Yeah.
So,
I love the octagon on that. That's like, I've never seen anything like that before. That's cool.
I know. He's so talented.
Good job, Sarah's uncle.
I know. I've got crafty genes in the whole family.
Since we're talking about project bags, I got to show mine off. I got one from Republica Unicornia. Look at how big it is. It's so big. This is her extra large size. And let me tell you, when these went on sale, like I had to set an alarm, and I had to like go and fill up my cart like, 30 seconds after my alarm went off, and like already they were like stuff was selling out. Her stuff sells so fast, but like look at this
It
bag. It's
is
huge.
so cute.
So
The
big.
unicorns, it's like a
Mhm.
tapestry.
I know, and it's got this really cute star fabric on the inside, and she puts a little, can you see the
Arm
little,
on it.
oh yeah, I got one of her pins too. I'm really into pins. So
So what's going in that sucker?
well,
Parallelogram.
yeah, let me think. So January 1st is when this episode is going up. That was like the first day. It was going to be the first day of the parallelogram wrap test knit. But my testers are like, hey, we're not doing anything after Christmas. Can you just send us the pattern like early and we'll get started? So like they're all knitting it already. They're all, bless their little hearts, they're all working on the parallelogram wrap. So, and I decided I'm going to knit another parallelogram wrap myself. Like I'm going to do the test knit too. I haven't started yet because when I'm a very naughty designer. I like to just knit the thing and then try to figure out the math after the fact. So like I don't check my gauge, I don't measure shit. I just knit it and then try to fudge the numbers after I make it. And let me tell you something, that doesn't work. You can't like, oh, so like my testers are like, these numbers don't match up, and like this, we're not getting the same gauge, and like this isn't right. And I'm like, yeah, that's because I fudged it. Sorry guys. So I'm gonna knit my own pattern again according to my pattern and make sure that my numbers are right before I publish, because that's just not good designing, Christine. You have to do you have to do the work, you have to do the math. So sad, but I'm excited to knit that pattern again because it's just like garter stitch and like just a long garter stitch shawl. So that'll be fun. Plus it's kind of cool to like knit the same thing. If you've never done a knit along, it's fun to knit the same thing as a bunch of other people and talk about it as you're going and share photos and whatever. So, but what I've been keeping in my Republica Unicornia bag is one of my next patterns, which,
Ooh, let's see it.
well, it's not done, so it's on the needles.
Because it's enormous.
Oh my god, it's so big. At least these.
How long are these rows now?
I haven't counted in a while, but a row takes like 1 hour of Bridgerton. One row. One row per episode of Bridgerton. But I'm getting into the end, so I don't know if you can see, but like obviously it's a rainbow fade, right? It starts at red. And I'm getting into it's hard to see, but I'm getting into purple, and purple is the last color of so like we're getting there, but it's so big, so I'm keeping it in my huge project bag.
That's great.
Yeah, I watched like 6 episodes of Bridgerton yesterday. I was like, I'm just gonna watch one, and I watched 6 and knit a bunch on this. So that was good.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad.
Yeah, so this will be one of my patterns in the new year. That I also didn't do any of the math on, that I'm gonna have to try and fudge after the fact. So we'll see how that goes. But it's just like my approach to design is like, I have this yarn. What do I want to make with it? And then I just make the thing. And like, I take notes as I go, but I don't, even when I knit other people's patterns, I don't like to like I never check gauge.
Mm-hmm.
I never measure stuff. Like I just want to make the thing. And like, am I going to have enough yarn? Maybe. Just cross my fingers and say a prayer, and usually it works out, and if it doesn't, I'll just buy another skein. But I'm learning that not everybody operates that way. A lot of people like to know like exactly how much yarn they're going to need. Like they don't like to play yarn chicken. They want to know the numbers ahead of time so that they
Right.
can whatever. So that's a skill I'm going to have to practice as I design more stuff, is like doing the stupid math. So I brought up the Bridgertons. Should we talk about that?
Yes, we
The new
should.
Netflix show, which it just aired like on
The 25th.
Christmas Day. It just came out, and it's the #1 thing on Netflix right now.
I'm so happy. And just to plug, Julia Quinn, if you haven't, the first book is The Duke and I. So just pick it up. It's wonderful. And then you can watch the show, or vice versa. Either way, it won't matter.
Did you read the book that the show is based on?
Yep.
The Duke and I?
So, yep. Sorry.
The Duke and I?
Yeah, The Duke and I read. I'm on #2 now. The Duke and I is Daphne, who's the main character of this one. The second one is the oldest brother, who's kind of stern. So it's his story. And there's 8 siblings, which is just an adorable premise. And they're named A to Z. So it's like Colin, Daphne, Hyacinth. Like, they have just adorable names. So what do you think of the show?
Well, I watched 6 episodes yesterday, so I would have finished it, but I had to go to bed. So here are my thoughts. I would give it like 4 out of 5 stars. I really am enjoying it, but like the character chemistry, I'm having a hard time like believing, and I felt like there wasn't quite enough lead up to the sexy parts. So like the like sexual tension, which is so important to romance and romance novels and romance stories or whatever. I felt like that was just a little bit lacking. Mm-hmm. But what I really love about this show is, so it's set in Regency England, which is like the early 1800s. And what I love that they did in the show is the diversity of the cast. Like, normally when you have like Regency, like think of like the Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice, yeah.
Like everybody's white and like really white. And so like in Bridgerton, not everybody is white. Not everybody looks the same. There's Black people, there's Asian folks, there's like Indian, Pacific, I can't think of, but like there's brown people, and like everybody's different, and it's so cool to like see like that's I'm so excited that I don't know what I'm saying, but like it's just so refreshing to have a show that's like, we don't care that it's historically inaccurate. Like, we're gonna include everybody because
cast a diverse cast.
Yeah, it's almost like they did like an alternate history.
Yeah, it's a Shonda Rhimes produced show. So yeah, I was reading about it a little bit yesterday. So I love the lead. I think he is just like fantastic. The Duke of Hastings.
Yeah.
But I was trying to think. There's some casting. I was looking through like the mom with like the 3 girls, and she dresses them in like real loud colors. One of those actresses, she was on Dairy Girls, which is a hilarious like Irish show where they're just goofy teenagers. So there's people in there that I was picking out. And like the costumes are like crazy over the top. All the set design is like, everything is covered in flowers, and every dress is like dripping with
so
beads.
Beautifully, like very visually aesthetically pleasing. So like, even if like I was saying, like the characters, I sort of felt like their chemistry wasn't that great, but like, again, I watched 6 episodes straight through because it's just so beautiful to look at.
Well, and it's a good romance premise too, which is she's, you know, not getting as many suitors as she would like. He's getting too much attention from moms and eligible young ladies that he doesn't want because he doesn't want to get married. So they have this kind of little sneaky plan where they pretend like they're together to kind of get her more suitors, and like for him to look like he's taken, so he's getting less attention, which is of course just adorable. So then they get to spend a lot of time together.
I love that trope, the fake fake relationship romance trope. That's a good one.
It is really good.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I can't like stop thinking about the costumes. Like, because so my friend Molly is a romance writer and historical reenactor, and she probably hates the show because she gets really mad when like the hair isn't historically accurate.
The
or, like,
hair,
the
I
outfits.
mean, there's feathers, there's like big diamond things, and it's just like, yeah, it's such a fun
really
interpretation. But if you're strict about that stuff, it is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not for you. You just have to watch it and just ignore that part of it. Yeah, it's almost like candy colored. Like when they walk into a room, I saw someone online said, flowers don't bloom every, there's like 5,000 blooms, everywhere.
Yeah.
But
I'm fine with it. Did you ever watch, there was a show set in Henry VIII's court, and it was like a teen drama. What was it called?
Oh gosh, it was on, oh no, I'm thinking of the Scottish one that was on the CW.
Well, anyway, that show was like, because it was like a teen drama set in Tudor England, like the costumes and like they looked like they were going to like prom in like 2008. Like it was it was totally not accurate at all, but I loved that show because again, like I can get behind a pretty dress. I don't care if it's accurate to the time period. Costumes are always like one of my favorite parts of shows or theater or movies or whatever. So yeah, if you haven't watched the Bridgertons yet, you guys go watch it because it is pretty great.
And we had a suggestion that we talked about a little bit last time, which was The Flame and the Flower, which is Kathleen Woodiwiss. And I read a little bit more about it since then, and really started another like romance revolution of the 70s, that and a few other books. And I started to read it and I was so surprised because she, within the first 100 pages, gets raped by the main character. And I was not expecting that. And I've read romances from the past 10 or 15 years, and I'm just so used to either consent or that she's ripping his clothes off, it's shocking. So I messaged you just like, this is a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
And he thought she was a prostitute and was just playing hard to get, and there's all these extra things that tie into it, but it's a lot. And then it goes from there and they're thrown in together, but it's really different. So you had recommended Dangerous Books for Girls by Maya Rodale. So I read that and learned so much.
Oh, did you read this? Nice.
I did. I read it. So learned so much. I had read the Smart Bitches romance book, but I haven't read that one. So learned so much. So thank you for that.
Yeah. So did you finish reading The Flame and the Flower?
I didn't, but I think now that I read Maya Rodale, I'm going to go back and finish it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just...
Sarah messaged me. So like after in our last episode, we were like, hey guys, read this book with us, The Flame and the Flower. It's the first like ever romance novel. And then Sarah messages me and she's like, there's really a lot of triggers in here. Like we need to like vet our reading recommendations before we tell people to read them. So I recommended Dangerous Books for Girls, which is this book by Maya Rodale, The Bad Reputation of Romance Novels Explained. So if you're interested in the history of romance, or like you're a romance reader and you're like, you'll be hiding your romance on your Kindle. Like, oh my God, what if someone on the subway knows that I'm reading a smutty book or whatever? Like that, like there's a reason that people are ashamed to admit that they read romance, and there's like the whole thing of the reputation that romance novels are just porn for housewives. Like that gets addressed in here too, like, oh, romance is just Fabio on the cover and blah 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 blah. So after Sarah and I were talking about the Flame and the Flower and how there's like a really ton of rape in there. One of the things, like there's Maya Rodale says some stuff in Dangerous Books for Girls that sort of explain how that came about and why that is, like the old bodice rippers of the 70s and 80s, and how they are like a product of like the sexual revolution of the 60s and like all that stuff. So I marked some passages. I don't know if, should I read them?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I use real quick. I used this book when I was in college in my English lectures. I like use this book as a source for some. I wrote a couple of research papers on romance novels. Like I wrote a really big one for a pop culture class about the book Lord of Scoundrels by Loretta Chase.
Oh, yeah,
Have you
I
read
love
that?
Loretta Chase. Yeah.
Oh, I love that book. So my argument was, is Lord of Scoundrels a feminist text? And so I like was analyzing Lord of Scoundrels through a feminist lens, and I use this book as a reference. But anyway, so on the rape stuff, Maya Rodale says, a healthy depiction of a woman enjoying her sexuality is the most scandalous thing on earth ever. And many romance novels have come to provide healthy depictions of female sexuality. Not that we would know it, but the way the conversation is always about bodice rippers, with the implication that women don't want sex unless a man makes them want it. And then she goes on to talk about, thanks to the sexual revolution that kicked off in the 60s, the advent of the pill, and dramatically changing roles for females, women were finally about to explore the aspect of their sexuality for themselves. But where would they begin? And so then she like talks about how rape in romance novels allows women to like sort of experience that sexuality and desire without being almost like fully responsible for it in a way.
Right. You weren't allowed to go and rip his clothes off and take what you wanted. So this was a way to, I'm saying it poorly, but
yeah, it's really interesting. So the hero of the romance novel sort of became responsible for the heroine's sexual pleasure, and that made it okay for women to experience,
to enjoy it.
desire. Yeah. So I feel like I butchered that, but this book's really interesting. I love this book. And also Maya Rodale writes pretty kick-ass romances too. So she's a cool author.
And there's a few things I learned that in reading about it. One was that like the Fabio cover and things like that, they're like, well, that gave, romance a bad name. And she's pointed out there used to be no covers on books written by women that used to be, circulated, and they had terrible reputation. You're reading this garbage. And so she said it's always been that way. It's not because of the Fabio cover. And
right.
In addition, the Fabio cover and, heaving breasts and things like that were to get male shop owners to stock the books. So it was a way to like get them onto store shelves too. It wasn't that women were clamoring, for these covers. So she made she talked about Fabio a lot. So
let's talk about Fabio, because here he is.
I mean,
this is the 80stest. Like she's wearing such blue eyeshadow. I don't know if you can see.
Perfect.
Oh, so good. I collect vintage. Like I've never read this, but I'm like, this cover is gorgeous. Like I have to own it. So I like every once in a while I'll find them on eBay and collect my silly romance covers.
And then just that romances today are so different. It's, so much more equal.
Oh yeah.
And it's so much about, the woman getting pleasure, and it's just so crazy. And in the Bridgertons, there's one scene where, he asks like a few times, like, is this what you want? Is this okay? And you're like, things have changed,
Yeah.
So I just, I think it's really, really interesting.
you can't, like, authors can't get away with not including consent anymore. Like, if, like, when I was editing books, I would frequently have to be like, hey, like, he did, like, he's got to ask. Somehow consent has to be established. And like, I was working with self-published authors, but like, if the other editors that romance editors that I worked with, who worked for like major publishers, like this is the same thing. Like, publishers are demanding that consent is included somehow. Like, consent has to be established in these characters' relationships in romances now, because of the prevalence of rape culture, and like we're not doing that anymore, you guys. So
I was gonna say, yeah, if you've never read romance, I think The Duke and I is a good, one to pick up, and then it goes along with the show too. But really, such an adorable book. So and then you have 8 siblings to keep going through. So yeah, I'm on. It's funny because they skip around. So this was I think, Daphne D. She was the 4th, and then it goes back to the son,
Anthony. Yeah. I read the first one, but I actually read it twice without meaning to. I didn't realize that I'd read it, and then I read it again. But I never read past the first one, so I'm interested in continuing.
I looked at my Goodreads. I had read like 6 and 7 a little while ago, but
really,
so I was like, I have to go back and start at the beginning.
Well, shoot, that's like our book. All our books.
I have another book.
Oh, you do?
I do, which I did on audio, which I posted about a little while ago, but sorry, it's so bright. Daisy Jones and the Six. It had, and I don't know how I've never done this. It had like a full audio cast. So Ooh. Each one in the band, it was about this band in the 70s, like a classic rock band. It was so great. I would listen to this. I would hit play to walk to work. I would listen to it at lunch. Every spare minute I had to catch up with what was happening. And just, I can't say enough about it. Super fun if you're into, music at all, or it was really interesting about women in the music industry, and all fictional, but you could you got that Almost Famous. Is it Almost Famous, that movie?
I got the vibe from that cover.
Very much. Yeah. So one of the kind of the main singer and the keyboardist are women. So, you get from their point of view, and then so this is them now looking back and telling like a biographer about those days and how some of the songs were written and the collaborations. So I really loved it, and it was great to have the different cast members because you got to learn their voices. So when it went back, you would know what they were talking about. So of course, like rise to fame isn't as perfect as you think it's gonna be. It was really, huge tours, and things start falling apart, and you're just like really, really attached to these people. So
that sounds like a cool book. I always appreciate either when the like audiobook narrators are really good at voices, or when there's a full cast.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. So it's funny because this isn't fantasy or romance or, like one of my normal things, and I enjoyed it so much. I want to read something like it, but it's like, I don't know how if anyone has recommendations.
If you look it up on Goodreads and like scroll to the bottom of that book's page, sometimes they'll have like readers also enjoyed, and then like a list of similar books. So that might be a way to find.
Oh, that would be good. Well, it's funny because I liked the music part of it, but that really wasn't, it was almost like the ensemble part of it and like learning about like their interconnectedness that I liked. So it could be any setting. So I thought maybe like the suggestions would all be like music suggestions, which wouldn't be bad, but so that was my other fun pick.
Nice. Well, I have, I was just looking up, I didn't get a picture. So our knitting friend, Amia, works for the library system in Cleveland, and she runs a monthly true crime book club, and I went to I read the December book, and I went to the December. I didn't go there. I was sitting right here in my office because it's virtual on Zoom. I didn't I didn't go to the chat, but it was really cool to like, same thing, like doing a knit along and knitting the same project with other folks. It's also really fun to read the same book as everybody else and then go and like talk about it. So the book for December was, I already forgot, but it's about like the dude from Mindhunter. It was like the book wasn't Mindhunter, but it was by the same author. Yeah, I keep hearing about that show too that I gotta watch.
The show.
Well, anyway, so the book for February I'm really excited about because it's about a Cleveland serial killer. It's about Elliot Ness and the Mad Butcher, which is the book's about. So like Elliot Ness was the investigator on the Cleveland torso murders. Because like back in the I think it was the 20s.
Yeah.
We had like, there was a serial killer who was like cutting up bodies, putting heads places that they didn't belong, and like whatever. So it's unsolved from the 20s. So that's what the book is for the February book club meeting, which is Tuesday, February 9th. I don't know if non-library members are allowed to join. I have to find out. But if you're interested in true crime, that might be a fun book. I haven't read it yet, so that's on my list for January. But there will be triggers, guys. There's murder and there's body parts and it's true crime, so it's gonna be creepy.
I am gonna throw in a plug for the show Mindhunter because you will be watching it and just like looking around like, what is happening? They did not know about serial killers. I mean, they didn't know that was a thing. And there's this like group of like 3 people and they throw them together and they start going and interviewing. They didn't have a name for it. Interviewing people who killed multiple people in prison. And these guys are just, wow. I mean, just these actors, you do not know where they got these guys because you are terrified of them. And they go in with a recorder and like talk to these guys and they start building like a profile, you know, like this is an actual thing that happens a lot and we don't know anything about it. So fascinating.
Yeah, I need to read Mindhunter and I need to watch the show. The dude's name is Douglas something and I can't remember, but he's like the first FBI guy because he like invented criminal profiling, like, you know, for serial killers and whatever.
Like, and really I thought, they probably knew this in the 1920s. No, they didn't. They had people and they had to like fight to, you know, to do this.
Yeah.
And nobody thought it was worthwhile. They thought they were crackpots. It's really interesting.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, true crime and romance. Those are my 2 things. All right. Well, that's the end of my list. Do you have anything else on your notes?
No, I think that was it.
Cool. Okay, well, thanks for hanging out, Yarn Hellions. We're gonna try to do this twice a month. So we'll have so this is gonna air January 1st. We're gonna try to do another one in 2 weeks. So we have lots of fun stuff to share with you guys.
Well, I think for 2 introverts, we can talk a lot when we get going.
I know. This was supposed to it was supposed to be a shorter episode this time, and we've been chatting for an hour.
Still long, yeah. I mean, I think just by the time you kind of get through everything, it's an hour long, which is really fun.
Yeah, I know, it's fun. So we love hanging out with you guys and sharing our stuff and reading your comments and whatever. So keep it coming. We appreciate it. Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
See you. Thanks.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye.